Dear student, in the skull of rabbit, we are successfully completed cranial part as well as the sense caps. Okay, anyway, the skull of rabbit split into two parts, cranium part and the facial part. Okay, now here the next one is what is called the facial part. The cranial part is over, sense capsule is over. The next one in the skull of rabbit, what is called as the facial part. The facial part containing what is called the upper jaw and the lower jaw. Upper jaw and lower jaw. There comes under the what is called the visceral skeleton. What you call visceral skeleton? Sir, what is the visceral meaning? Visceral meaning means it is a soft organs that is present in the oral cavity. This soft organ is supported by or give the protection by the bones, that is called the upper jaw, lower jaw, and also having what is called iod apparatus that give the support to the tongue. For example, you take in the oral cavity, there is a presence of soft organ or the tongue. It gives a kind of cartilage structures called iod apparatus. So you don't worry about the iod apparatus. Visceral skeleton is one. That skeleton gives support to the soft organs. It gives protection to the soft organs. So that skeleton is called the upper jaw and lower jaw. My dear student, whether upper jaw is movable? No. It cannot move because this upper jaw firmly attached to the cranium or skull. Only the lower jaw can move, not upper jaw. Okay, anyway. Regarding upper jaw, this is called the upper jaw. Okay, now here I will show the skull of rabbit. Skull of rabbit. This part is called the upper jaw. This part is called the upper jaw. The upper jaw is made up of premaxilla. This part is called the premaxilla. The second one is called the maxilla. And third one is called the jugal. And fourth one is called squamosal. It is almost flat and curved bone. This is called the squamosal. The inner part is called as the palatine. The inner part is called the palatine. So how many bones are there? Premaxilla, maxilla, jugal, squamosal, and last one is called the palatine. These are the structures present in the upper jaw. So what is the premaxilla? The premaxilla is one. The premaxilla is one. For example, you take, this is called the premaxilla. The two premaxilla bones attached at anterior side and diverge at posterior side. That means the premaxilla is made of two bones, the right side and the left side. The two premaxilla united at the anterior end to form anterior limit of the snout. Anterior limit of the snout. Anterior side both are united together posted sides are not diverged. Okay, now here these premaxilla bearing teeth. Bearing teeth. Okay, now here, how many teeth are present in case of rabbit? Totally 28. You know that types of teeth depending upon the position of the jaw bone. What is called? For example, it is called as jaw bone. Depending upon the position of the teeth, they are classified into what is called as acrodont. This is called the acrodont. Acrodont means when the teeth are present on the surface of the jaw bone. Idr mele irbeku. Hingidre, idu for example, just imagine it is a jaw bone anta tilkoli. So now here when the teeth are present on the surface of the jaw bone is called acrodont. Example, MPV. Suppose when the teeth are present, the inner margin, this is called the inner margin of the jawbone. Here is the inner margin of the jawbone, that is called a pleurodont. That type of teeth is called pleurodont. Example reference. Thecodont, for example, this is a jawbone, and this jawbone having rooted. What is called a rooted? They have a socket. What do you call this socket? That is called thecodont. What is called? Thecodont. They are rooted. Acrodont, pleurodont, and thecodont. Now here in case of the mammals, the teeth are thecodont. The teeth are thecodont. Depending upon the what is called the shape or depending upon the function, homodont and heterodont. Homodont and heterodont. When all the teeth are alike, they are resembling to each other, they are called homodont. Best example in case of amphibians. No difference from one teeth to another. Heterodont means having different kinds of teeth meant for different function. Meant for different function. Heterodont. What are those, sir? Now here one is called incisor. There is a front teeth. This is called incisor. The second one is called a canine. This teeth is meant for cutting purpose. Canine is meant for the tearing. Premolar and molar is meant for grinding purpose. Now here in case of the mammals, you have to write the important character. In case of the mammals, the teeth are thecodont and heterodont. Thecodont and heterodont. Theco means they are rooted, they are present in the socket of the jawbone. Heterodont means having different kinds meant for different functions. Incisor, canine, premolar and molar. Sometimes there is a question in the teeth. What is monopyodont, dipyodont? Monopyodont, dipyodont. Monopyodont means having only one set of teeth throughout its life. No question of alternate. Only one set throughout its life. Dipiodont means having two such. One is called temporary and the other one is called the permanent. For example, you take human beings having temporary teeth, what is called the milk teeth, and second set is called the permanent. Having two sets of teeth throughout its life is called dipiodont. Monopyodont and dipiodont. Clear? Okay. Now here, the premaxilla is bearing what is called as the teeth. Okay, that is called the incisor teeth. What do you call the incisor teeth? Okay, now here, this premaxilla produces two processes. One is called as the nasal process and second one is called the palatine process. I will tell you afterwards regarding the roof of the buccal cavity having palatine bone. So the premaxillary one, it is made of two bones. The two bones are united at the anterior end to form anterior limit of the snout, and it bearing what is called a kind of teeth is called incisor. It produces what is called socket of meant for incisor teeth. The second one is called as maxilla. Here, the second one is called the maxilla. Okay, now we will show the which this is called the maxilla. Now here, it is one of the major bone for the upper jaw. It is somewhat spongy in nature. And this maxilla bearing teeth, it bearing what is called the teeth, that is called a premolar and molar, totally having six sockets in the maxilla, and each socket bearing teeth, that is called molar. That is having six premolar and molar teeth, three premolar and three molar teeth. This is called the maxilla. This is the premaxilla. And next one is called the, what is called, you can say just behind the premaxilla there is a bone is called maxilla. It is a major bone in case of rabbit. It bearing how many sockets? 6 sockets for premolar and molar teeth. Okay, now here this molar, that is what you call the maxilla. It produces three processes. Okay, now here the premaxilla produces two processes, nasal process and palatine process. Whereas in case of the maxilla also produce three processes. One is called zygomatic process. One is called as the zygomatic process. And second one is called the maxillary process. And third one is called the palatine process. Okay, maxilla is a major bone for the upper jaw. It bearing 6 sockets present behind the premaxilla. Okay, it is one of the major bone and spongy in nature. It produces 3 processes. One process meant for formation of the zygomatic arch, that is called zygomatic process of maxilla. The second one is called the palatine process of the maxilla. And third one is called as the, what you call the maxillary process, having 3 processes in the maxilla. The next bone is called as the jugal. See here. It is mainly contributing for the formation of the zygomatic arch. One is the maxilla bone contributing for the formation of the zygomatic arch, and second bone is called the jugal bone. See that zygomatic arch like structure. It is a arch like structure. So what is the structure of the jugal bone? It is a slender bone. That's all. It is a slender bone. That's all. Mainly contributing for the formation of the zygomatic arch. The next bone is called the squamosal. We can see on the dorsal side of the skull of rabbit. That is called the squamosal. It is a flattened in nature, flat and curved in nature, present posterior lateral side of the skull. Posterior lateral side of the skull. Regarding squamosal. Okay, now here it is also produces two processes. Anterior side it produces for the formation of the zygomatic process. What is a zygomatic arch? That is called zygomatic process of the squamosal. Anterior side produces what you call a kind of process for the formation of the zygomatic arch. Once again I will repeat, zygomatic arch is an arch-like structure contributing by three bones: anterior side maxilla, middle side by the jugal, and posterior side by the squamosal. One is called the zygomatic process of the squamosal, and third one is called, next one is called process tympanic process. What is called tympanic process? It is derived by the squamosal. So premaxilla produces two processes: nasal process, palatal process. Maxilla bone produces three processes: zygomatic process, palatal process, and maxillary process. No process from the jugal bone. Whereas squamosal produces two processes. One is called the zygomatic process, and next one is called the tympanic process. And one more structure in this squamosal. The lower end of the squamosal bone having a kind of glenoid fossa. Glenoid fossa. It is meant for articulation of the lower jaw. The lower jaw articulate with the upper jaw with the help of bones called squamosal. They produces a kind of fossa called as glenoid fossa. So the lower jaw articulated in which bone? Just picture squamosal. That's all. Okay. The next one is called as the palatal bones. What do you call palatal bone? It is a vertical bone. Present the roof of the buccal cavity or oral cavity. Now here the palatal bone, along with the process of the premaxilla and process of the maxilla, it forms a kind of bony process, the anterior side of the buccal cavity or oral cavity. That is why the anterior part, the roof, not floor, the roof of particular roof, the anterior side, somewhat bony like structure. Just you touch your tongue. Touch your tongue. The anterior part of the buccal cavity, particular roof side. That is called a kind of odd in nature. That is called odd palate. So these odd palate is formed by not only single bone, having palatal bone, major bone, premaxillar process, and maxillary process. Okay. Now, on the surface of the what is called odd palate, we can find a kind of jig-locks like structure. That is called rugae. What you call rugae? We can observe with the help of your tongue. Touch your tongue. One is hard in nature. That means the roof of the buccal cavity having two parts. One is called the hard palate, that is called hard palatal. The posterior side is called soft palate. Just posterior side of the roof of the buccal cavity. That is called soft palate, and hard palate. Okay, it is mainly contributing formation of the hard palate. So there is no any bony process. The posterior side, the roof of the buccal cavity. Roof of the buccal cavity. E side. Anterior side ಒಳಗೆ bony process ಇದೆ. ಅದಕ್ಕೆ hard in nature ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ. Posterior side ಗೆ without any bony process they are called soft palate. So that is the end of the what is called the upper jaw. Upper jaw having how many bones? Premaxilla, maxilla, jugal, squamous and palatal. Okay. The next one is called as the lower jaw. The next one is called as the lower jaw. This is called the lower jaw. Okay. Now here, the lower jaw is a somewhat vertical bone and flattened in nature. It is a vertically flattened in nature. The lower jaw also made up of two similar bones. The lower jaw also made up of two similar parts. The two parts united anterior side. The two parts are united anterior side and divergent posterior side. So what is the difference between upper jaw and the lower jaw? Upper jaw it cannot move because it is firmly fixed. The lower jaw is mobile. That is called lower jaw movement. So the lower jaw is made up of two similar parts or of. The two parts are united towards the anterior side in the form of V shape and posterior part diverged. So the lower jaw having a bone, okay, it is a vertical and flattened image. So my dear friend, it is a very important in case of the mammals because of the evolution. Because of the evolution. Generally, the lower jaw is made up of 5 bones. Generally, you take the lower animals starting from amphibia to birds having 5 bones. One is called the articular, angular, splenial, dentary, coronoid. These are the bones are present in the lower jaw. But here, one of the diagnostic feature, diagnostic character, important character in mammals, the lower jaw is made up of only one bone. The lower jaw is made up of only one bone. That bone is called dentary. Sir, what about the other bones? They are missing. I don't know where they are missing. They are missing. Or we can say absent. That is an important character in case of the mammals. I will tell you, there are so many important characters in the skull of rabbit. The lower jaw is made up of only one bone. That bone is called dentary. Okay, in the exam they will ask, with a neat label diagram, explain the lower jaw of rabbit. Okay, the point number 1 is, it is a vertical flattened bone. It is made up of 2 parts. The 2 parts are united at the anterior side and diverged in the posterior side. In case of mammals, the lower jaw is made up of only one bone. That bone is called dentary. Only one bone. That is called dentary. Only one bone. See that? Only one bone. That's all. Okay. Now here, what are the parts are present in the lower jaw? Okay. Now here, the dentary bearing totally 5 sockets. Okay, having incisor, then premolars and molars. 5 sockets for molars and 1 socket for incisor. Remember, 1 socket for incisor, 5 socket for molar, that is 2 premolar and 3 molars. I will tell you what is dental formula in case of rabbit. That is also question. Okay, now here it bearing 5 sockets for premolar and molar, 1 socket for incisor teeth. Okay. Now here the posterior end, this is called the posterior end. The posterior end of the lower jaw having a rounded projection, that is called condyle. What do you call condyle? That condyle having 2 important processes. The condyle, the posterior part of the lower jaw having a rounded projection. That projection is called condyle, and this condyle articulate with glenoid fossa of squamosal bone. It has 2 processes. In front of the condyle there is a process called coronoid process. How many processes? There are 2 processes. In front of the condyle there is having coronoid process. The lower side having angular process. The lower side of the condyle having one more process, that is called the angular process. That's all. Okay, we have to write important points. Okay, the next one is, sir, what is dental formula in case of rabbit? Dental formula of rabbit. What is called the dental formula of rabbit? Now here I will write the dental formula of rabbit. That is very important for your examination. Okay, now here DF means dental formula equal to, I stand for incisor. I stand for incisor. Okay. C stand for canine. This line indicates upper side, lower side of the jaw bones. Upper jaw and the lower jaw. C stand for canine, because that is where the mammals having heterodont and therodont. Incisor, canine. PM means what is called the premolar. PM means having what is called the premolar. The next one is called the M stand for molar. Okay, now here. This is called the upper jaw and this is lower jaw. To easily understand. Now your dental formula is equal to each half of the upper jaw, each half of the upper jaw and each half of the lower jaw, each half of the upper jaw and each half of the lower jaw. Okay, for example, take this a rabbit, the upper jaw having what is called 2 sockets. 2 sockets, upper jaw having 2 sockets. That is called incisor. Canine, no canine at all. There is a gap. That gap is called toothless. Now here in case of mammals, it is also very important. That gap is called as diastema. This gap is called diastema because canine is opposite. No canine. So that gap is called between the incisor and what is called the molar teeth. Having a gap, that gap is called diastema. Two more questions. What is the diastema? So it is a toothless space that is present in case of the mammals, particularly in case of the rabbit. That space is called diastema. That is also one of the important character for the mammals. That means no canine. So write 0, both upper side and the lower side. And 6 sockets. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 6 sockets in each of the upper jaw. That is 3 sockets for premolar and the remaining 3 sockets for the molar. Okay, this is called the upper side. And you make it into 2 because you have taken only half of the upper jaw. Only half of the upper jaw. And similarly, each half of the lower jaw having only one socket. Only one socket for incisor, right? See, this is indicates lower jaw and this indicates upper jaw. One incisor. And 5 socket. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There is a gap. This gap is called the diastema. No canine at all. 2 socket for the premolar and 3 socket for the molar into 2. So how to count the number of teeth in case of, okay, now here 2, 3, 5 plus 3, 8 into 16. So upper jaw having 16. Lower jaw 1, 0, 2, 3. No canine at all. Okay, 1 plus 2, 3. 3 plus 3, 6. 6 into 2, 12. Total how many teeth are present? 28. So you can get easily marks, 2 marks. Okay, what is the dental formula? The dental formula equal to each half of the upper jaw and each half of the lower jaw into 2. Total you can count 28. Okay? Between the incisor and premolar teeth having a gap, that gap is called as diastema. That's all. That is the end of the skull of rabbit. Cranial part, facial part, sense capsule. My dear student, next period I will take girdles, pectoral girdle and pelvic girdle. So what are the important characters for the mammals while studying the skull of rabbit? Okay, now here. One is the skull is ossified. Okay, that's a question. That's important points. Second one, presence of the zygomatic arch. And presence of the 2 occipital condyles. And foramina magnum, the large opening is called the foramina magnum, dicondylic nature of skull of mammals. Very important character. Okay, presence of the tympanic bone. The next one, presence of the diastema. That diastema is a gap because that gap is occupied by canine in higher animals, carnivorous animals or higher animals. So canine is totally opposite. These are the points. Minimum 5 to 6 points. That points is very important for general character of the mammals. This is important character. You will get notes. Okay, thank you, my dear student. We can continue next class regarding girdles and limbs. Thank you.